You're out of places to run, Jimmy. And you're starting to piss us off.
Quit while you can still walk.
Forget it, Faceless. There's always a way out.
Only way out of here is pavement.
Shit! Look! Wait, let's be reasonable. Hey, what the...
I can't hold this forever, Jimmy. If you're gonna talk, it better be now.
Okay, sure, whatever you want.
Where can we find Underboss?
Where else? Back in his old underground hideout.
Thought that property been auctioned off with the rest of his assets.
Well, whoever bought it must be letting him use it, because that's where I was told to deliver the hardware.
What hardware? Who told you to... I don't get it. That cable was designed to hold 5 times that much weight. There's no way it should have snapped on its own. Something or somebody must have cut it.
Paranoid. Still alive. For now.
Let's call for an ambulance to pick up what's left of Jimmy.
Any other ideas how to reach Underboss?
Let's take the sewers. They're his domain.
Appropriate.
Hey, what's up everyone? This is the review for Watchmen, The End is Nigh Part 1 and 2, the compilation disc I got a couple weeks ago. Now, this is a beat-em-up game, and it's a... You know what, you have to listen to the rest of the review to figure out what I thought about it, but I'll give you a little hint, and anyway, let's go on to story. Okay, now the story for Watchmen, The End is Nigh Part 1 and 2, seeing that there is Part 1 and 2, there's different stories. Part 1, the story is pretty much... you are Rorschach or Night Owl. Now the thing that's screwed up here is, you know what, I should talk about it in gameplay, alright? So you can play as Rorschach or Night Owl, it doesn't really matter, I don't think so. You get to go in different parts. Now, this is what happens. You go to pretty much a jailbreak. You're there to break it up and stuff, but the underboss escapes. Now the underboss is just some big crime lord that they put, because Night Owl and Rorschach are partners, so they brought him down and sent him to jail, I think a couple years earlier. Now he escaped, so that is pretty much the story. You have to go and get him back and bring him back to jail. Okay, so now let me go on to Part 2. Part 2 is pretty much, Rorschach is searching for this girl. She's about, I think, 17, and she got captured by Twilight Lady, and another fucking criminal or something like that. She owns a strip club or something like that. Not a strip club, I think it was a whorehouse. And you know how much Rorschach hates whores. So yeah, that's pretty much what the story is. You play as Rorschach or Night Owl, is no difference anyway. Well, besides the story. Alright, let's go on to... Okay, now the sound for Watchmen Part 1 and 2, pretty much they're the exact same. I mean, it's good that they got the actual voice actors to voice the characters. Jackie Earle Haley is Rorschach in the game, and Patrick Wilson is Night Owl. They don't have that much... Well, they do have a lot of dialogue, mostly Night Owl, because I play as Rorschach, so I'm thinking, hey, he'll talk more. Night Owl talks more. He just, like, talks while you're beating up people, like, where do we have to go, Rorschach? Where do we have to go? So, yeah. I mean, they're not annoying like I just did there, but, yeah. Anyway, the brawling sounds and the special, like, moves you do, they all sound like punches and growls and shit. So, nothing really complain about there. The sound is decent, except the voice actors are great, so it raises it up to good. Pretty good, actually. Alright, so let's get to the graphics of this game. Now, the graphics are actually really good for arcade game. They're both arcade games. Part 2 didn't come out yet. It comes out later, I think August, I heard. I think it came out for the PS3, but it comes out August later this year. So it's exclusive for now for this disc and for the PS3 version. So, yeah. The graphics are good for an arcade game, but when you put it on a disc and sell it for, well, even though it's a budget title, it's only $30. I mean, you're really getting, I'll be honest right here, you'll be getting about 6 hours of gameplay in this game. Let me go on anyway. That has nothing to do with graphics. The graphics are fine for a regular game, but for an arcade game, it's probably the best I've seen. Alright, I'll be honest, the way Rorschach looks in Night Owl, Rorschach's dots never stop moving, just like in the freaking movie. So I really like the graphics. I'll be honest, for an arcade game, it was an arcade game first, so I'll still count it as a really, really freaking great looking arcade game. So yeah. Okay, so here is where Watchmen pretty much falls. I said, the story's okay, and I said the sound is alright, and I said the graphics are really good. Now here is the gameplay. Ooh, is this probably the most repetitive fucking brawler I've ever played in my life. Okay? Now, I had fun for the first 2 hours, I'll say. And then, yeah, because part 1 is actually 4 hours, and I counted. Part 2 is pretty much like 2 hours, 2.5 hours maybe, so if they sell part 2 for $20, it will be the biggest fucking ripoff of mankind, I'll be honest. 2 hours of gameplay for $20? Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit, because Watchmen Part 1 is still $20, but at least it's like 4 hours long. So, yeah, I mean, still, I think it should be at least 1,200 Microsoft points, but no, it's 1,600 Microsoft points, which is $20. $15 would be a little better, but I still think it should be $10, which is 800 Microsoft points. Anyway, it's so freaking monotonous and repetitive. It just gets so fucking boring after time, and I couldn't beat it. I couldn't beat a 6-hour game in one sitting. That's how freaking repetitive this guy. I was like, oh shit, I need to play like Halo or something really good, because this gameplay just got so fucking boring. Even though the fighting is good, the fucking special attacks and shit get really repetitive after time. Because I played as Rorschach both games, and he does the same shit in each game. There's no difference in the games except story. And maybe a couple different enemies, but that's it. Even the same moves in the second game. That's fucking stupid. Alright? All the moves you unlocked in the first game come into the second one, and there's no difference except, now I noticed that Night Owl has a different attack that I didn't see in the first one. He has like a fucking electric charge, and yeah. I didn't see that in the first one. Maybe my cooperative buddy just never fucking used it because he's a dumbass, but I don't know. Fuck, man. I really thought the gameplay was horrible, I'll be honest. I really got fucking bored, and I'll tell you what, in part 2 is probably the worst excuse for an arcade game. It's horrible. Well, you know why? Because the last part, chapter 3 of that, there's only 3 chapters in that one. There's 6 chapters in the first one. So it's kind of like half of the first one. So yeah, the chapter 3 goes on for maybe 40 minutes, and this is all you do. You chase Twilight Lady around her pimp mansion or something for 35 minutes. I was like, oh my god. Oh, that's all you did is chase, fight guys, chase, fight guys, chase. It wasn't like, you have to solve like I don't know. There's lockpicking in this also, and it's horrible. You don't need to do that. You can also find collectibles like Rorschach cards, and you can find these little dots that give them different moves, but I locked them all, and there was no different ones in the second game. I'll be honest, I know I'm going on and on with the gameplay. Let me stop here and say it's very fucking boring and repetitive. So yeah. Okay, anyway, to the entertainment. Obviously, if I didn't like the gameplay, I probably won't actually enjoy this. But I gotta say, I mean, for only 6 hours, and for only... Really, I only bought it for $15 because I returned a free game and got whatever. I'm not going to explain it. I got it pretty much for $14 actually. So for $14, I would say it's actually a good rental, which is $7. So that's half of what I actually bought it for, which is fine for me. It's a good rental, but nothing special at all. I mean, it's good rental to like rent for a couple of days so you could beat like half of the first game, and then the rest of that another day, and then beat the other game on another day. So you'll have it for like 3 days, 2 hours every day, because this game it gets really repetitive after time, and it's mind-numbing really. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the review, and yeah, I would say don't get this game, only rent it if you must. Anyway, thank you and bye.